Hello and welcome to another spiritual learning video. Today we're going to learn about our soul's contract. What is it? How can we find out what ours is, and can they be broken? A soul's contract or soul's agreement is a pre-birth agreement between two souls to learn specific lessons and experience certain situations in a lifetime. These are not rigid contracts, but rather a blueprint allowing for free will and the possibility of change. They involve both positive and negative experiences, as all these encounters are seen as opportunities for growth of the soul's evolution. And there's a few different types. But let's go over the pre-birth agreements in more detail. Souls plan their lifetimes before incarnating, deciding on the relationships and experiences they will have to learn specific lessons. What type of lessons? Well, the soul's contract are often intertwined with karma, where positive and negative experiences are chosen as opportunities for growth. Free will and flexibility. While a soul's contract outlines a general plan, it is not a completely predetermined fate. Souls have free will and can navigate their lives in different ways, learning and evolving along the way. These contracts are not always clear or visible. The concept of the soul's contract can be abstract. You might not always be aware of your contracts. These contracts can be revealed through things like the Akashic records, readings, or past life regressions. Some examples of soul's contracts can involve relationships with family, friends, romantic partners, or even challenging interactions that force growth. The ultimate purpose of the soul's contract is to facilitate soul evolution, allowing souls to learn, grow, and evolve towards their highest potential. While these concepts are not rigid, breaking a contract in its entirety is unlikely. However, understanding and working through the lessons of the contract can lead to positive changes and a more fulfilling life. Think of it as the game of life. It's not scripted play, so only major events are planned and major meetings with, let's say, your soulmate. But the most essential ones are between parents and children, as this would determine the family you are born in and your connections with future children and grandchildren. They say many small children remember choosing their parents before being born. Romantic contracts are also part of this plan. However, we often see that the main contract is with the child, but the mother or father is optional. Typically, kids are mostly connected with their mothers spiritually, or both parents if the spouses are romantic soulmates. However, there are people whose father was the major soulmate, with many past lives together, but not the mother. This is more typical for karmic connections, or even life partnerships, past lives together when a person has no plan with a soulmate and can choose any good match. Karmic partnerships will also be in the soul's contract. They are based on paying the debts from the past lives, because maybe you hurt this person or soul, or they took care of you all their life, or died saving you. All of it creates a karmic debt, and the souls get together to balance the karma. Sometimes we see the soul who took somebody's life in a past life become their parents to return the life they took, but they are often still abusive, and that's okay to tear the contract with such a parent and sever all connections with them, not to create any more negative karma. Soulmates can have some negative karma too, but typically their karmic balance is positive as they love and support each other in many lives. So returning the debt does not end the relationship, only makes it better. Purely karmic relationships end after the debt is paid, and there is no deep connection between these souls. A very important contract is between a reincarnating soul and its spirit guides. These connections can last for many lifetimes or while learning specific lessons. It's typical for baby souls who are just getting started to have sweet female guides like nurses or kindergarten teachers who are very loving and supportive. But as the souls get more experienced, they get more knowledgeable guides, often male or a warrior, a professor, or even an old wise woman, who are less comforting but more instructional. Sometimes you come across guides who are kids or teens. They're about spontaneous and playful attitudes or rebelling against authority. A contract with a guide or an angel or even an ascending master cannot be broken during a lifetime. A guide stays in the higher realms as they will never leave you, but you can change guides between lifetimes as the soul's progression and take on a more difficult lesson. The contracts with soulmates can be broken, but both parties are in 3D and have free will. Plus, a soulmate can die unexpectedly before meeting you. In this case, guides will rewrite the contract and find a different soul to be your romantic partner or child. Because of free will, a soul could refuse to have a child or even have medical fertility issues, and the soul of the child with the contract can be born into your extended family or become a student. Souls of children who die in infancy or are stillborn typically return to the same mother in the next pregnancy. Romantic partners can be changed, but some souls are always faithful to their romantic soulmate or twin flame, and they will never marry if the relationship does not work out. The contract will be rescheduled for the next life. Okay, so how do you figure out your contracts? You could do an Akashic reading with a psychic who can shed some light. You can also do past life regression hypnosis. Occasionally, a soulmate with a romantic contract or a future child can show up in your dreams, meditations, visions, or hypnosis. A medium may be able to communicate with your guides and they can tell you about your contracts with permission. You can also have a soul contract with an animal, although it is more commonly known that soul contracts can exist between two humans. These agreements can also include the animals we share our life with. Our soul's evolution, as well as the conscious human experiences we have, are helped by the connection we share with animals. The soul contracts we share with our companion animals are often centered around lessons of unconditional love. Whether they share our journey for a short time or a long time, they show up to help us through difficult times and to navigate the darker, heavier energy emotions such as grief, loss, and abandonment. Well, I hope this video gave you a little more insight into your soul's contract and gave you some initiative to look into. What is your soul contract? Thank you so much for watching another spiritual learning video. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing and check out the playlist for more. We'll see you next week.